Imagine, you're sitting at home, playing some game, and suddenly a message pops up in the game chat.
Wanna earn some easy money? Just need to do one thing.
It sounds like an easy quest, but behind it could be a Mexican cartel. They are actively looking for new people for their schemes non-stop. Today we're breaking down the dark world of Mexican gangs, how they recruit children, why teenagers join them, and what awaits those who get caught. Have you ever wondered why Mexico is not just the beaches of Cancun and Taco, but also a country where criminal groups hold entire cities in fear? Mexican drug cartels like Sinaloa, Los Santos, or Michoacana family aren't just gangs, they're full-fledged criminal empires. They earn billions of dollars, control entire regions, and recruit children to work for them. Let's figure out how it all works, but without the unnecessary gore, just facts and real stories. How do gangs recruit children? Imagine a Mexican town where poverty is the norm for absolutely everyone. Families live on literally $5 a day, houses are falling apart, and teenagers dream of decent sneakers they've never had. And then, recruiters appear on the scene. They're not like villains from the movies, all tattooed with gold teeth and all that. Often they're local guys who once worked for the cartel. Charismatic, with money, and fashionable clothes. They know how to approach a teenager to seem like an authority who knows and understands something. Sometimes it's an older brother of a friend, sometimes an acquaintance from the next block. They approach and say,
Listen, there is Isborg. Just go there, deliver a package, and you'll get a couple hundred pesos.
for a kid from a poor neighborhood, that sounds like a dream, but the terrible truth is hidden behind it, and we'll talk about that next. Now, recruitment is increasingly moving online. In 2021, Mexico's Deputy Minister of Public Security, Ricardo Mejia, reported that cartels use chat function in games like GTA 5, Free Fire, and Call of Duty to find children. Yes, it might seem unbelievable, but look at the reports. This is happening right now. How does it work? The recruiter logs into the game, pretends to be a newbie, and writes something in a game chat.
Hi, I'm a new here. How to play? Teach me something.
The kid helps. They start connecting. Gradually, the recruiter gains their trust, praises them, gives them skins, and then offers a real money for a small service. In quotes, of course. Something simple like listening to police scanners or delivering packages to the next neighborhood. And often, there is nothing even in those packages. They are testing the candidate. It sounds simple, but it's the first step into a trap. A real story. In 2021, Mexican authorities rescued 3 boys, aged 11 to 14, who were recruited through a Free Fire chat. They were promised 16,000 pesos, about $800 for a job. The job was carrying packages of drugs, obviously with preliminary checks. It's like a sort of internship before the real deal, so the new kids could be trusted. Imagine, the kids didn't even understand what they were getting into until they were pulled out. But this is the far from the only case. In 2022, in Jalisco State, a group was caught recruiting teenagers through Discord. They looked for kids who wrote in chats, bragging about wanting to live large, and offering them easy money. Cartels are literally everywhere now, not just in games. They are on TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp. Recruiters monitor social media, looking for teenagers who post sad stories or write that they want to escape poverty. You might think that no one posts that, and it doesn't exist, but you'd be very wrong. And that's exactly what they target.
I see you're one of us. Let's do something cool.
And the kid who's never held more than 100 pesos in his hands thinks, why not? In 2023, Mexican cops busted a gang that was recruiting girls through TikTok. In reality, they were forced to work as couriers or do other shady things. I don't think I need to explain what kind of work young girls might be forced into. It's trafficking. Let us not go any further. It is harsh. Another method is schools. In some areas of Mexico, cartels hang out right at the school gates. They know which kids walk alone, who has problems at home. They approach, offer a soda, give them lunch money, and then you're one of them, and you owe them help. And the teenagers, whom absolutely no one ever noticed, suddenly starts feeling important. In 2019, in Chihuahua State, ghosts busted a gang that recruited school kids during a recess. They paid 500 pesos for kids to keep an eye on the cops in that area. For the children, it was easy extra cash, but in reality, it was a ticket into crime. Kids are tested this way to see if they can be trusted or not. If a worker performs their duties for a long time without messing up, they get promoted, so to speak, up the career ladder. It's awful, but it's the truth. Why do teenagers join gangs anyway? The answer is quite simple but sad. It's money and dreams. In Mexico, poverty isn't just a word. Millions of people literally live without enough money for food. The average salary is about $300 a month, but we all know how average salary works. if one person earns $1 million and another earns $3,000, then on paper they average $500,000 each. But most of families don't even see this kind of money. If you are teenagers from such a place, you have little chances to bright future. School sucks, no jobs, chaos at home. And then the cartel shows up, promising the good life, cars, expensive clothes, and parties. The recruiters say,
Work with us, and you'll have everything.
from a kid from the ghetto, it's like a golden ticket, literally. But it's not just about the money. Cartels know how to play on emotions. They know whose parents are alcoholics, who get bullied at school, etc. The cartel becomes their new family. Another example, in 2020, in Guanajuato state, a 15-year-old boy was caught. He said he joined the cartel because he was beaten at home. But in the gang, everyone respected and valued him. Sometimes it's a threat. If you live in an area controlled by a cartel, saying no is not an option. Gangs like the Michoacano family can come to a family and say,
Either your son boards for us, or things get ugly.
and that's it. The teenager and the parents have no choice. In 2023, in the village of Taxco, 14 people disappeared, including 4 children, after locals tried to fight back against the gang. This isn't just a story, it's the reality of people live in 4 years. Another reason kids join gangs is the romanticization of crime. In Mexico, cartels are glorified in narco corrido songs, like ballads about heroes but about El Chapo and his buddies. Add to that shows like Narcos. Plus, in a gang, they get status. At school you might be a nobody, but in the cartel you're one of them, you're a family, and you owe them help. And, accordingly, your status at school goes up too. It's like a game, but with real stakes. But there's also a social aspect. In some areas of Mexico, cartels are the power. They build schools, hand out food, help the poor. For locals, they are like Robin Hood. Teenagers see from childhood that the gangs care for the neighborhood and think, why shouldn't I be like that? In 2018, in Sinaloa state, a cartel handed out toys for children at Christmas. It sounds very sweet, but it's just a PR move, to show they're one of the people and hook new workers.
We care about you. Join us.
But here's one more thing. Sometimes kids don't even work for the cartel. They just get caught sniffing around. Maybe they overhear the wrong conversation, see something they weren't supposed to, or even just ask too many questions. In cartel logic, curiosity equals betrayal, and betrayal has only one outcome. There are cases where teenagers who weren't even involved, just hanging around, just trying to act tough, ended up disappeared. No trial, no second chance. One mistake, and you are gone. That's the insane part. You don't even have to be a narco-soldier. Just being near the world, showing the wrong kind of interest, can get you treated like an enemy. Children under 14 in Mexico are usually not jailed, but sent to juvenile centers. But believe me, the conditions there are like prison, and rehabilitation rarely works. Older teenagers are tried as adults, especially if they are involved in serious matters. For example, transporting of drugs can get you from 5 to 15 years. But the scariest part isn't the cops, it's the cartels themselves. They don't like rats. If you snitch or try to leave, they will find you. Mexican gangs aren't just criminals, they're a whole system that devours the lives of thousands of children. They promise money, respect and family, but they take away everything: freedom, future and sometimes even life.